Hey everyone, today we're going to be covering how to prepare for an interview last minute. This will go over the basic, most essential parts of interview preparation so that regardless of how much time you have, you can ensure you're successful. First, looking at understanding your potential future role at your potential future company. This is hopefully just a review since you already did some of that with your application, but you want to go back to that job description and underline some key words and qualities that they are looking for so then those can be brought out in your behavioral interview answers. And with that, if you don't have a job description or it's a little bit more casual than that, then just take the time to brainstorm some qualities that they might be looking for so that those can be in the back of your mind as you are preparing and figuring out how to answer and what qualities about yourself that you want to showcase. Next, you want to figure out what you know about that company already. So if you have friends working there, then maybe that's a great time to figure out what do they like about the company and different things that you might want to get invested in. And those will be great things to mention in your interview just to demonstrate clear interest and really make sure that they know that you are a candidate who genuinely wants the role, not only that role anywhere, but specifically at their company. Going further with that, you're going to then do a quick Google search of the company values and their mission statement. This is just a great thing to have so then you can really center your answers on really showcasing that you are aligned with what they are working towards, whatever that goal may be, and that will really help you to stand out as someone who fits in really well and is definitely going to persist the company mission, their values, and really embody each of those. Next, figure out why you specifically want to work for that company. So this might take a couple different forms, but go beyond, obviously you want to make money. And that could even come in the form of, why do you want to make money? Is it because you have future dreams and aspirations that you're working towards that are only possible if you get to XYZ goals? And as you are figuring out why you want to work for the company, you can turn back to those values, that mission statement that you looked up earlier, and also the different things that you already know about that company. So what is it that speaks to you from that company, and why do you think that you would take that job if you were offered it? So just really getting in the mindset of, this is a good fit for me and this is why. Second, you want to understand your experiences. This starts with brainstorming, and in brainstorming, seriously, take 5 minutes, just write out anything you can think of. This can be on your resume, it can be off your resume, it can be things like helping your family and being a leader in your family, it can be volunteer work, it can be classroom related. All different experiences that you might be able to draw on are relevant, and you can pull the value out from them later. So in figuring out how to pull out value, next go to your resume experiences, so whatever is listed on your resume, and bullet point some stories that you can think of related to each experience, and you can also tie those to different behavioral questions that might be relevant for those stories. But it's key here in your limited time that you list out different stories per resume experience, just so that you have a lot in your back pocket for whatever question that they may ask you. Next, you're going to go on to those non-resume experiences. So these might be those that you've already brainstormed or ones that you have thought of since then. Based off of those experiences, you want to do the same thing, come up with stories related to each of those experiences. Maybe tie them to behavioral questions, but just generally you want to have a wide variety of stories to choose from because you never know what they're going to ask. And when they are asking about your different experiences, I always recommend quantity over quality, where you might have the most amazing story from an experience, but you might have already mentioned that experience 1 or 2 times, and to really show that you are capable of handling any environment and that you make significant contributions in whatever you get involved in, that is going to speak volumes about who you are rather than consistently touching on something that you have pretty much talked about as much as you can. Next, you want to apply those stories you just thought of to key questions. For time's sake, I would say definitely focus on tell me about yourself. What are your professional goals? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What's a time that you went above and beyond? Tell me about a time you failed. How did you respond? And what sets you apart from other applicants? Based off of those questions, it should give you a pretty well-rounded understanding of the stories that you want to include, how you want to frame yourself, what is super important about you that you want them to understand, all different things like that, so that when you go into that interview, you are really showcasing your best self and making sure that if anything, they are coming away with a solid understanding of who you are and why you'd be a good fit. So now that we've gone over the interview preparation essentials, just some final practice tips and additional resources, starting with practice using voice memos. You can technically use any recording app, but this way you don't have to worry about feeling awkward practicing in the mirror, but making sure you're as concise as possible, sticking to around 2 minutes for behavioral questions, then also being able to figure out how you want to change and improve your answers, and if you're using filler words or not, and just being able to really refine your answers the more that you listen to it, the more you practice. As I said before, vary your experiences. This is super important because you want to show the depth of you as a person, as a candidate, and as a potential future coworker. For additional resources, if you are looking to prepare more, I do have an interview prep guide. It is on my website and it's also in the description below, so be sure to check that out and make a copy of it, and it's all yours to help start preparing. I also have a couple other videos on interview prep, so check those out if you think those would be helpful, but I hope that this video was helpful and that you do amazing on your interview. Best of luck, guys, and thanks so much. Bye-bye.